We made it! At noon on day 15, we checked out of our hotel, but I did promise you some reflections before we go. We printed out these time capsule sheets for the kids to fill in, but we could never figure out the right time to do it because our thoughts, reflections, and situation changed from week to week. In week 1, it was all, hey, just go outside, play with your brother and sister, to day 50, where it was, oh, you want to watch TV? Sure, let's sit down together and I'll tell you something about cars and call it quality time. Many times as parents, we're pretty hard on ourselves, but it's going to be the little joys that the kids remember. Whether it's week 1 or week 7, it appears the Zoom calls have become a part of their new normal. Those who know me and my daughter know that we had a bit of a rocky year in school, but her journaling in this time capsule was just so sweet. As for the youngest, I interviewed him and recorded his answers verbatim, and most of his answers had to do with cars. I gotta say, for somebody who doesn't drive, he makes an awful lot of plans.
When the virus is over, because we can't stay home, and I want to go to a play date
With?
with Nathan. I'm gonna buy blades with Nathan, but.
My sister had made us some banners, and we used one of them to record our daily highs. If you look at it a little closely, you will find that cars are mentioned very frequently, as well as food. As for my reflections, I thought I would be really happy not having to cook for 2 weeks, and I was the envy of my friends that I could put my Instant Pot away. But I soon realized that, there is ungratefulness in my heart, especially when all we had was often chicken or this kind of fish. This is a basa or swai fillet, which is a kind of tilapia, and which is also my least favorite variety. So I had to learn to be grateful too, for eggplant, and sometimes when they put tilapia and eggplant in the same meal. And even if I didn't feel particularly grateful for the food, I could thank God for the time I had with the family instead of standing in the kitchen. As we finished packing up, I told the kids to carry on doing their schoolwork, and I thought this short story that my 7-year-old wrote was kind of funny. And here's a breakdown of what this family of 5 used or accumulated over 2 weeks. Oh, so many plastic utensils, and this was after we had already returned 25 to the hotel. But we couldn't return bags.
How many bags in here? 1.
I should have anticipated he wouldn't have the patience to count all those bags, so I turned to my trusty sidekick.
62.
The night before we left, the children got a little gift from the Le Méridien staff. The Singapore government also printed a series of postcards with inspirational quotes that were delivered to our doorstep. A little paternalistic, but also kind of charming. As we left our room, I was surprised to be feeling a little bit of fear and anxiety, and I wondered if this was how prisoners felt when they left jail, because we were leaving the safety and cocoon of our hotel room and re-entering a COVID-19 riddled society. We looked around at the hotel, and it was a beautiful place that we spent 2 weeks in. I don't think the kids felt anxious at all, and I believe the excitement was mutual. It had been 1.5 years since we 3 sisters were in the same place, so it was a sweet reunion. This is where they dropped the care packages off, and the hotel staff knew us as the folks on the top floor with the heart in the window. We didn't realize that right behind our hotel was the symbol for Singapore, the merlion, which is a mythical creature half lion and half fish. As we left Sentosa, we were reminded what weather in Singapore is really like. With temperatures between 87 and 91 degrees and humidity around 80%, it feels like Florida in summer. Our first stop was to pick lunch up at this hole-in-the-wall place called Two Chefs, and I know it looks like nothing much, but the food was as delicious as I remembered. Coffee spare ribs, boneless spare ribs smothered with milk powder, prawns tossed with crispy cereal, and prawn paste chicken. Not to mention enoki mushrooms with braised tofu. Our friend gifted us another amazing box of produce, and it's time again to play Guess That Fruit. The jambu is also called a wax apple and tastes like an apple. We were happy to be out, but we all agreed those 14 days passed faster than we thought. This marks the end of the Quarantine Chronicles, but I might do a food diary so I can tempt you guys to visit Singapore one day.